Module 1, Lesson 1. Introduction to Creativity. The fact is that every person has a natural, innate, and a permanent side of their being that is so entirely and unendingly creative. All you have to do is get a little direction to tap into it. Every woman, man, a child in the world is born with so much creativity they don't use in their everyday life. If you go back in time and think of yourself when you were a child, you were uninhibited. You were a creative person. You were adventurous and an opportunity and possibility-based person. You tried and experienced different things. Experiments were your everyday life. The world was infinite in its possibilities and opportunities. Then something strange happened. The system took over your creativity. The world encroached. The behavior based on doing the right thing is correct in all aspects of your life and have opposed and neutralized your creative capabilities. Your parents, environment, school, or whatever other reason, got destroyed and crushed the amazing and endless creativity was inside you when you were born. In 1968, George Land, an author, speaker, consultant, and general systems scientist, conducted a research study to test the creativity of 1,600 children ranging in ages from 3 to 5 years. This was the same creativity test he devised for NASA to help select innovative engineers and scientists. Also, he retested the same children at 10 years of age, and again at 15 years of age. The results were astounding. Amongst 5-year-olds, 98% was creative geniuses. Next, amongst 10-year-olds, 30% was creative geniuses. Amongst 15-year-olds, 12% was creative geniuses. They give the same test to 280,000 adults, and the results show that only 2% was creative geniuses. According to results, we can see that as young kids, we are more creative because we are looking through unpolluted and unsullied fresh eyes. When we become teenagers and adults, we refine everything we see. To reverse the years of filtered thinking, we need to connect experiences and synthesizing new ideas. The main reason kids are more creative than adults is that they look at the world with fresh eyes. They are always collecting information, data, and facts that they eventually unite together. For them, everything is a new experience. However, once they go to formal education and socialize with other children, it forces them to fit in the current acceptable framework that kills creativity. Creativity is everywhere around you. If you think creativity is just for your business, or it's something that is in high demand for wars, or when you play the game, you are wrong. Those are only some simple areas that you can be creative. But, having in mind that your life is based on everyday problem-solving processes, we can say that always and everywhere you will need to be creative. So, the question is, what is creativity? In the simplest form, you are creative if you make something from nothing. Creative people see possibilities to create something from nothing. The artists are creative because they put the paints on the blank paper. Entrepreneurs are creative because they create something from nothing. That something is the business that brings added value to the customers. Creativity is the ability to generate ideas that can be used in problem solving, seeing, and creating opportunities. It is simply connecting the dots. For Steve Jobs, creativity is all about connecting the dots. He says, creativity is just connecting things. When you ask a creative person how they did something, they may feel a little guilty because they didn't really do it, they just saw something. It seemed obvious to them after a while. That's because they could connect experiences they've had and synthesize new things. And the reason they could do that was that they've had more experiences or have thought more about their experiences than other people have. Unfortunately, that's too rare a commodity. Many people in our industry haven't had very diverse experiences. They don't have enough dots to connect, and they end up with very linear solutions, without a broad perspective on the problem. All of this means that you need to expand creativity in your company. You need to find ways to increase that creativity. The final judge of the success in your efforts to gain and increase creativity in your business will be your customers or your market. In order to increase your own creativity, you will need to start with changing 3 things. You need to start with the positive thinking on as much as possible things around you. Change the statement "there is no chance, in everything is possible." Start building your self-confidence and change your fear of mistakes and encouragement to try something new. Become curious as much as possible. Change the sense of insecurity before others to ask why or why not. The next important question is, can creativity be taught? Yes, creativity skills can be learned. Not from reading and sitting in the school desk, but by learning, experimenting, and applying creative thinking processes. Scott, Laritz, and Mumford from the University of Oklahoma in their study, The Effectiveness of Creativity Training, a quantitative review says. Based on 70 prior studies, it was found that well-designed creativity training programs typically induce gains in performance with these effects generalizing across criteria, settings, and target populations. Moreover, these effects held when internal validity considerations were taken into account. An examination of the factors contributing to the relative effectiveness of these training programs indicated that more successful programs were likely to focus on the development of cognitive skills and the heuristics involved in skill application, using realistic exercises appropriate to the domain at hand. According to the Harvard Business School professor, Teresa Amabile, there are 3 components of creativity. Expertise includes everything that you as an individual known as technical, procedural, and intellectual knowledge and can do in the broad domain of your profession. For example, if you want to work on innovative drugs for some specific diseases, your expertise will need to include scientifically thinking, knowledge and technical abilities in the fields of medicine, chemistry, biology, and biochemistry gained through formal education, practical experience, or interaction with other professionals. Creative thinking skills that you possess is the second important part of your creativity that refers to how you approach problems and solutions and your capacity to put existing ideas together in new combinations. This is how flexible people and fantasists approach to problem solving. These skills depend on your personality and how you think and do your work. If we come back to the previous example in the development of new drugs, you will be more creative if you are comfortable in disagreeing with others or you want to challenge the current status quo situation. Motivation is the third essential element of your creativity. Your own expertise and creative thinkings are the basis or your natural resources, but, if you don't have the motivation, you will not start doing real things. Motivation determines what you will actually do. You cannot develop the drugs you want to build even you have the expertise and enough creative thinking if you don't have the motivation to do a particular job. There are 2 types of motivation, extrinsic and intrinsic, the latter being far more essential for creativity. Extrinsic motivation comes from outside of you as a person. If someone promises you to reward you financially, it will motivate you to work to find a solution. Your most significant intrinsic motivational factors are your passion and interest, your internal desire to do something. When people are intrinsically motivated, they engage in their work for the challenge and enjoyment of it. Let's look at some tips that can help you to be more creative and develop the creative process in your company. 1. If you don't try something new, you don't know what types of results it will give you. You need to try something new if you want to be creative. You can't just wait for the right moment. Sometimes the right moment will never come. 2. Bad ideas today can be good ideas tomorrow. Don't afraid that you or your employees will have bad ideas. This is the most significant constraint of inventiveness in your business. 3. Be prepared. Ideas can come from everywhere. Yes, creative ideas can come to your mind from everywhere. But, also they can be quickly forgotten if you don't record them. Always be prepared to store the ideas for future analysis. You can use notebooks or recording devices. Furthermore, encourage your employees to do the same. 4. Make your business to be a very creative working place. It is not about the furniture or wall color. It is about the processes, procedures, and standards that are used in your company. Simply, you need to change them to bring more freedom in the working process, to make it possible idea sharing within your business and to make it possible for all the people quickly to switch the gears from one type of work activities to another. That will increase innovation in your company. 5. Use mind maps. Mind maps are one of the most creative weapons of creative people. These type of maps will encourage you to transform your thinking from linear to lateral. 6. Try to encourage change to routines. Everyday routine is killing creativity in your business. Try to find ways how to make it possible quickly to change the routines in your life and your business. 7. Use networking to increase creativity in your business. Meet different people, exchange different opinions, and talk about the different experience with them. Use social networks to connect and communicate with as much as possible different people. Encourage your employees for the same activities. This will increase the creativity level inside your company. 8. Reward creativity. Use different rewarding systems to encourage everyone in your business to be more creative. 9. Use brainstorming meetings to encourage innovation. You need to schedule some time each week to spend with your business team where you will talk about new ideas and possible implementation of them. Encourage everyone to share their thoughts. 10. Look at problems and different solutions. The problems that exist in your company can be the perfect source of creativity.